Last episode, our Woodsmen took down one of the top Western Conference teams because we are also one of them. We beat the Denver Nuggets, who have Jokic and LaMelo Ball, and now we're facing the Thunder right afterwards 2 days later. Anderson puts us on the board with our first field goal of the day, and then for three, cuts the game to 1 early on here in the first quarter. Giddey with it, finding Owen Rush for three. That one's online. Hot start for the Thunder. Anderson missed it, but it's tipped back in by Don Payne, who's been a beast on the glass this season. Space for Anderson. Got it to go from beyond the arc. But a low-scoring first quarter for us. Just 20 points, and the Thunder lead 26-20. So we go to the second quarter. Halliburton behind the back, and he gets to the rim past Herb Green. Holmgren, the offensive board, blocked by Don Payne. Showing off his defense and offensive skills. Out of a double team, Halley finds Pollard for the jumper to cut the game to 5. Then Pollard for three off the mark, but Payne somehow gets it, backs down Holmgren, and somehow scores through his defense. Extremely solid play here in the first half from Payne. KPJ knocks it down from deep. Then blocked is Rodich by Don Payne. Carney over to Halliburton, wide open three, offline. And this was pretty much the story of the first half. We had so many good looks and just could not knock them down. And the only guy who could was number 5, Simon Anderson. He was the only guy that could knock down shots with regularity in the first half, at least for Vancouver, as Porter Jr. knocks it down again. Bobo trying to respond, got it. That'll cut the game to 10. Then Giddey finds Spencer at the rim, the bucket plus the foul. The second one against Zubats. And Jermaine Spencer's free throw is up and off the mark. Bobo pulls it down. Anderson attacking and got the bucket plus the foul. Over 3 white shirts. Incredible stuff from him here in this game. The free throw is up and it's good. But it would be 55-39 at the break with, again, Anderson being the only guy that could do anything remotely good on the offensive end. He was our main point scorer, and we shot 32% as a team, and he had 18 of our 39 points. Our first bucket here in the third quarter comes off a Payne tip in. Anderson fading away, got it to go for 3. 15-point game. Halliburton bucket and the foul as well against Eklund. Second on him. And Halliburton's free throw can cut the game down to 12, which he does. Keldon Johnson for 3. No. Payne gets the board over Eklund and goes up for 2. Then Keldon Johnson gets to the rim and scores this time for one of his first buckets. Anderson baseline drive, bucket plus the foul again. They cannot stop him. The free throw is up and it's good, but still within arm's reach, but not closing the gap until now to single digits thanks to Keldon Johnson. Pollard whips it to Carney, wide open 3 in the corner online. Can't leave that guy open. Then Pollard at the charity stripe, yes! That'll cut the game to 6. Then later on, he'll drive in for 2, getting past Darius Baisley. Pollard's not done though. Bucket plus the foul. Really great third quarter from him after a slow first half for the entire team, including him. But the free throw is up and good. That'll cut it to 3. 77-74. Rodich wide open, missed it, and Zubats pulls it down. Pollard finds Bobo. Quick shot, mid-ranger, yes! 1-point game. Last shot here, the third quarter. Nice find by Giddey for Spencer at the rim. And we head to the fourth quarter down by 5. 76-81. So we brought it back. And then Payne in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes gone. 1-point game now, 84-83. 14 points for him, shooting 86%. Carney back to Anderson for the lead. Yes, he got it. Vancouver with their first lead of the night here in the fourth quarter with 8.5 to go. Then Anderson at the rim will put us back in front. Trading buckets midway through this fourth quarter. Look at his numbers. 24 points in the second half alone. 8 for 13 from the field. had a phenomenal game, and he keeps it up here in the fourth quarter. They keep leaving this guy wide open. Why would you do this? I mean, trust me, I like it, but this is just bad defense. For three again, Anderson just unconscious. We jump ahead as Chet Holmgren will close our lead back to 1. 99 to 100, and now we turn the ball over, trying to find the cut by Anderson. And then they turn the ball over. Anderson gets the steal. And then Giddey pokes it out from behind and takes it right back. Chaos here in the final minutes. Giddey to KPJ across the court. He knocks it down in the corner. The Thunder are back in front by 2. Halliburton to Payne. And he turns the ball over. It's Owen Rush this time getting the steal. We have plenty more turnovers as Giddey will capitalize to put the Thunder lead to 4. Halliburton, important shot, yes. 2-point game. Giddey, same spot, no. And a chance for us to tie things up or take a 1-point lead with a 3-pointer. Halliburton sees a lane, waits, attacks Secklin, and is fouled. So 2 free throws coming up, which could tie the game up. The first one is up, and it's good. Okay. A bit less nervous now. Second free throw, good as well. 104 apiece, says OKC calls timeout. They advance the ball. Giddey offline. Ball's tipped. Chet Holmgren gets the offensive board at the worst possible time for the Woodsmen. The offense resets. Shot clock winding down. Screen for Giddey. It's covered well. Contested shot. He got it. Are you serious? From the elbow, it puts them in front by 2 with 6.6 on the clock. We advance the ball via timeout. We inbound to Anderson. ISO against Giddey. Can he do it? For 3 for the win? No. Now we just lost to a sub-500 team. Not how you want to start your final push for the postseason. This was a disappointing loss, especially because we got 50 points from Anderson on just 35 shots. 18 for 35 from the field. Payne had a monster day, 16 points, 22 boards. But Zubats couldn't get much off the bench. He and Vanderbilt never even took a single shot. Carney was 1 for 4. Coden Johnson only took 4 shots total. And Herman Pollard and Halliburton both shot poorly, and they were the 2 guys that took the most shots behind Anderson. So that's pretty much why we lost. And because of that very slow start there in the first half. The Thunder got 21 from KPJ and 20 and 13 from Chet Holmgren. Giddey had a pretty good fourth quarter after not having done much in the first 3 quarters. And, I mean, he had the game-winning shot. So, you know, that's how it goes. But I didn't show you guys the turnovers towards the end of the game, but there were like 5 straight turnovers by the Woodsmen there in the fourth quarter. I showed, I think, 1 or 2 of them back-to-back. But 11 turnovers, they only had 4. They took care of the ball extremely well. And that's just how it is. Like, we gave up 9 steals. And, yeah. Should have done a lot better. Their bench stepped up. Ours didn't. And, you know, we lost the game again when Anderson puts up 50 points. Kind of reminds me of that playoff game from last year. That also means that we are now a half game back from the Pelicans. But it's time for us to sim 3 weeks in a row and get to this game at home against Golden State. This is the most important sim stretch of the entire season, so every game here is crucial. Most of these teams are below 500, but we cannot count them out. But there is a tough matchup right here against the 45-20 Boston Celtics. We simmed 11 games, and we go 8-3 with our losses coming against the Pistons, Mavericks, and of course the Timberwolves. But we did blow out Boston in the first game, 138-100. And we are now 20 games above 500, by the way, but a huge fourth quarter got us the win. We were already up at that point by quite a bit. But Luka has 18, 6, and 10. Goga Batadze, 18 points. Sochan, 16. And it looks like the Woodsman got 37 from Anderson, 28 for Coden Johnson, and 20 and 12 from Payne. A double-double for Hallie as well. 15 off the bench for Carney, and 10 assists off the bench for Pollard. That's the passing that I'm talking about, man. Heck yes. Then we took down the Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker drops 23. Oscar Tucker had 20. Copeland 13, 4, and 7. The Woodsmen got 22 for Anderson, 21 and 12 for Payne, 16 for Zubats on perfect shooting, another 15 and 10 day for Halliburton, and we had Johnson, Carney, and Pollard all scoring double figures as well. Our first loss comes against the Pistons, who took us down by 8 at home. 25 and 14 for Halliburton, 21 and 12 for Payne, but this time Anderson shoots an abysmal 4 for 21 from the field. Definitely one of his worst shooting days of the entire season. Pollard played well off the bench. Zubats did too. The Pistons had 39, 6 and 7, and 4 steals from Cade Cunningham. Porter had 19 and 9. Double figures for several other players for the Pistons. He bounced back by taking down the Jazz. RJ Barrett had 25 plus. Nobody else had more than 12. The Woodsman got 29 for Anderson on good shooting to bounce back from his poor shooting day. Another double-double for Payne. Halliburton once again hovering around 15 points. Keldon Johnson 2, but he shot poorly this game. And here's our loss against Minnesota. They got 35 from Julio Haywood, and then 20 plus from Cooper and Jaylen Brown. Ben Simmons had 10, 7, and 13. The Woodsman got 28 for Anderson, albeit on 15 missed shots. Keldon Johnson did not shoot that well. Halliburton didn't take many at all. So you can see why we lost here. Nobody really shot well at all, except for Halliburton, but he was only 4 for 7. So we face them again and then take them down, this time by 7 at home. 26 once again for Anderson. Carney, a solid day off the bench. Halliburton 16 and 15. The Timberwolves this time around only had 19 from Cooper. Nobody had above that, so much better defense being played here, or just worse offense from Minnesota. Our most recent loss comes against the Dallas Mavericks. They get 31 for Cat, 30 from Dyson Daniels, and 16 from Reed Wall. The Woodsman got 24 for Anderson and double figures for Payne, Allie, Keldon Johnson, and Joel Carney. But nobody shot, horribly except for Halliburton. He was 4 for 16, but nobody else was, bad. In a rematch against OKC, Anderson once again drops 40 plus on just really good shooting numbers. Halliburton had 21, 5, and 8. Payne had 16. Carney did 2. And it looks like we had Keldon Johnson go 3 for 13. The Thunder had 33 and 13 from Chet Holmgren and 20 and 10 for Giddey. But we shot a lot better in this game. Win number 2 in a row comes against Atlanta by 13 points on the road. 30 for Trae Young in this one. But then 37 for Anderson. He has had a really good post-All-Star game performance. He's up to 25.8 points per game. Don Payne's third in the league with 12.6 boards per game. That's beautiful. Halliburton here in this game had 21, 11, and 6 steals. Carney had 21 off the bench. Payne a huge double-double. So, good work once again. And then, I'm not sure what the Nets were doing here in this game, but they got absolutely walloped. This is not even close. It's 128 to 67. We were up 75 to 45 at the break, and they still could not muster more than 11 points in a quarter after halftime. That is embarrassing. 128 to 67, your final score. That could be the biggest differential in a game that we've seen in team history. Quite possibly. I cannot think of a time where it's been different than that. But Anderson 33, and this one as well. 20 plus for Halliburton, Keldon Johnson, and Don Payne. So, a great day from our 4 core offensive players. Carney and Zubats had double figures off the bench, and Pollard had 6 assists too. Nets had 20 from Simons, 11 for Ivy and Perry, but nobody else had more than 9. And we're coming off a win against the Rockets where Ray Harris drops 22, Jabari Smith 19 points, Irving 18, and the Woodsman got 26 for Anderson, 24 for Johnson, 23 for Allie, and 20 for Carney. So another good day by the offense, scored 128 in a double-double. And we shot well again, and now we are currently tied for first in the Western Conference with our opponent in today's episode, the Golden State Warriors. Both us and them have made a massive push for the top seed, surpassing the Spurs, Nuggets, and Pelicans all of a sudden. Now the Pelicans have played 2 more games than we have. Both were losses, so we have 2 games in hand against them. And the Nuggets and Spurs have not been playing the best basketball these last couple of weeks. And that's why we all of a sudden are, tied for the lead. But we have the tiebreaker. And if we beat them, then we have sole possession of first place with only 7 games to go afterwards. So this game is huge. Quick update stat-wise for you guys. Anderson has gone from around 22-23 points per game from the first half of the year to down 25.8 here in the second half of the season. So he is playing some very good basketball. He is trying to surpass his best season, which was a couple years back, where he put up like 26 points per game. That was 2 years ago. And now he is finally getting back on track towards similar numbers here. In fact, he's shooting better from the field, extremely well from 3, better at the charity stripe, and he's playing a few less minutes too. So he's just simply improving. Halliburton is around 20 points per game, just below 10 assists too, 1.6 steals. He's up to 44%, so definitely picking things up here in this half of the season. Shooting very well from 3. Keldon Johnson, 15 and 5. And he's got his shooting up as well. Don Payne still around 13 and a half and 12 and a half. But his blocks have gone down slightly. Carney is playing better as well. 11 points off the bench, 43% from the field. Pollard currently has a bruised rib, but for us, he has had 8.3 points per game, 5 assists per game, and he's shooting about 43%. Bol averaging 8.1 off the bench, so you're seeing better bench production since we have made those couple of trades for sure. And here are the starting 5 for today's game. They're going to go with Juan Ortiz, Jalen Green, Tommy Shepard, Jonathan Kuminga, and Wallace Nance against Tyrese Halliburton, Anderson, Keldon Johnson, Vanderbilt, and Don Payne, of course. Here we go. I've already game planned, so we're going to have Anderson guard Ortiz, Halliburton guard Green, Payne guard Wallace Nance, and Vandy guard Kuminga. And Keldon Johnson will cover Tommy Shepard for the time being, but I will make adjustments in the game if I need to. But here we go. The winner of this game has a full game advantage in first place here in the Western Conference. A massive matchup, so let's get to it. Here we go in Rogers Arena as Payne wins the tip and Vancouver starts with the ball. I want to see some better offense compared to that OKC game because we will need it against this team. Defense too. They have been the best offensive team in the entire league with like 117 points per game. We are at around 110 after a slow start. Halliburton for 3 gets off to a hot start. And Juan Ortiz, I believe, is a rookie point guard, and he's only like a 74 overall, so we'll see if he can lead this Golden State team as their floor general. But their best player is Jalen Green, obviously, who has averaged 26.4 points per game this year, very comparable to Anderson's season a couple years back, and this one too, as Ortiz will drop his first shot. A chance for us to tack on a few more points to our extremely early lead. But Kuminga also has, 21 points per game. He's been playing very well. Both him and Green have shot above 50% on the season as Anderson gets his first bucket off the Payne assist. Green, deep 3, no good. Anderson cuts, Vanderbilt finds him, in there for 2 more. Good start. See right there, post All-Star game, he's had 30.7 points per game. Those numbers, again, are swapped. So he has played extremely well here this half of the season as he just blocks Ortiz's layup attempt. Great defense right there. I want to see more of that. Payne to Keldon Johnson on the cut. 9-0. Tommy Shepard attacks the rim and he's fouled by Payne. That's his first. Tommy Shepard so far this year playing a similar role as to Keldon Johnson as the 3rd star on this team. Averaging just below 17 points per game, 6.5 boards, and 4.8 assists. And also has over 1.3 steals and blocks per game. So he's putting together a really just overall 2-way solid season. His free throws are good. It puts the Warriors on the board for the first time. Payne the screen. Halliburton attacks the rim. Goes back to Payne. Hands off to Anderson for an open three, but that's not going in. Payne skies for it and is there for the offensive board. Tease off the feed from Kuminga, finds Nance. His jumper is off. Halliburton, wide open three off the feed from Vanderbilt, got it. 14-2. Ortiz with it, trying to get by Anderson, but he stays in front. His shot is off, and Payne pulls it down. Halliburton finds Anderson, wide open corner three. He doesn't miss those. Look at this start. Vancouver desperately wants that first seed. Ortiz, open three, and a shot still won't fall for the Warriors. No field goals yet for them. Halliburton throws it right to Kuminga, trying to find Vandy over the top of him. And then he lost it, and then they get it back again. It's a scramble for the ball, and Kuminga ends up with it somehow. Jesus. Wallace Nance finds Green. He's covered well. Vanderbilt can't stop him, though. There's their first shot. Anderson with it, gets by Green, attacks, and he's bear hugged by Kuminga. That's the only way that they can possibly stop our offense right now. That was a great move to get by Green, by the way. First free throw good. And Anderson knocks down both. Green thought twice about it. Waits for the Nance screen. Takes it down low. Back out to Kuminga for an open three. That one is good. Nice pass. Halliburton hands off to Payne. He's backing down Nance, and he scores on him. Watch the big man go to work. Green off the pass from Ortiz. Got it. Andy comes over for the screen. Halliburton on the move. Can't knock it down. Ortiz gets down low, and he's swatted by Payne. On the other end, Anderson takes Ortiz down low, scores, and got the foul too. That's how you take advantage of that. Steve Kerr has no idea what's going on. Free throw, up and good. Green off the screen, gets down low. He's fouled by Vanderbilt. That's his first. Golden State has brought in Mo Wagner, Zeke Naji, and Quinn Baldwin. Baldwin by far is their most productive player off the bench with like 11 points per game or something. The free throws for Green are both up and in. Pollard has it, takes a screen from Zubats and fires off it. That shot's off the mark. We jump to the second quarter, about 7:25 to go until the break, and the onslaught of Golden State continues. But we know how first halves go. We got to keep playing our best basketball here, because if we can come back from deficits after a poor first half, then they can too. They are in this spot for a reason in terms of their seeding. So we could not count them out right now, even though it's a 19-point game. Halliburton takes a screen, has to fire. It's off the mark. Payne gets it over the head of Nance. Great rebound. Pollard with it. Trying to attack Jalen Green, perhaps. He has to pass out of it to Carney for three. That hits back iron, though. Tommy Shepard, mismatch against Pollard. His fadeaway is good. Halliburton cuts, and Vanderbilt tried to find him, but it's deflected by Wallace Nance. Shepard, open three. Got it to go. That's what I'm saying, man. It's a game of runs. And all of a sudden, it's down to 14. Pollard behind the back, gets down low, and he's swatted. And Halliburton comes up with it somehow. Shot clock does not reset. Pollard back with it. Has to force it. It's blocked again by Nance. Fantastic help defense. Jalen Green attacks the rim, flying by Pollard and Vanderbilt, in for two more. Now it's 12. A 9-0 run by Golden State. Under 5 to go here in the first half, and Pollard's blocked again. Not liking his shot selection here, and he's now 1 for 8. Happened a couple of times against the Thunder as well. Got to watch out for his drives, because he will shoot if he gets down there. Kuminga sets the screen. Green fires the mid-range jumper, and now it's a 10-point game. We have to finally call timeout.
Vancouver timeout.
And the offense finds something here to break this run from the Warriors. Halliburton got it this time. Finally, a shot falls. He's played pretty well. So has Anderson. So our two star players have had a pretty good first half, but still plenty of time to go until halftime. And I still want to see some of the bench players step up too. Shot clock winding down. Shepard has it. He might have to force this. On the other end, Anderson finds Bobo on the cut. In there for the bucket and the foul. That's the fourth on the Warriors here in the quarter. Great pass to Anderson from Hallie and a great pass from him to Bobo. Great job right there. It's back to 15 points. Let's keep this up now. Green, wide open shots. Got it from deep. Halliburton finds Keldon Johnson. He goes to Anderson there in the corner. Off the screen, he'll fire. Open look. Missed it, but Zubac gets the board. And the offense resets. Halliburton holding on to it. He'll fire off the screen. That one drops two. He's got 17 here in the first half. Green cuts and has a tomahawk slam. Ortiz gets the assist. Screen sets. Halliburton top of the key. No good this time. Green has a mismatch against Bobo somehow. He's double teamed. They go back to Ortiz top of the key. And a screen is set for him. He fires. And it's just off the mark. Halliburton waiting for somebody to get open. It's going to be a play for Anderson. He finds Keldon Johnson for three. That one's off too. Nance pulls it down. 90 seconds to go until halftime. Ortiz, out of a shot, finds Nance. Open jumper, it's good. Pollard checks back in. Want to see some better offense from him. And just some more passing in general. Bobo comes over and sets the screen for Anderson as his step back is up and good. Najee backing down Bobo. Back out to Green. He's double teamed by Anderson and Pollard. He finds Baldwin for three. That one's off. We could go 2 for 1 here. Zubac to Pollard. Wide open three. Just off the mark, but that's a good look. 1 second separates the shot clock and game clock, so we might have a chance for one more shot. Green, deep launcher, no. We will have the last shot here in the half. Time cutting down. Keldon Johnson at the elbow has to fire. It's good to beat the halftime buzzer. Vancouver leads 60-45 at the break. We jump to the third quarter. I asked for some better offense in this game, and so far in the first half, we did it. We've been all right here in the third, but the defense has not been as good as the first half. Halliburton for three off the mark, and he is tired out there somehow. How is he tired? It said that he was fresh. I don't understand. Kuminga knocks it down on the other end, and now it's a 5-point game, 65-70. I told us to not count out the Warriors, but the team seems to not have listened. Anderson in there for an easy layup. Nice whip pass over to Ortiz for three, but he's not the best shooter on their team. He has shot below 40% on the season, so not sure he's their go-to guy for three-pointers or for shots in general. Keldon Johnson for three off the feet from Halliburton. There's 2 assists in a row for him, and it's back to a 10-point lead. Tommy Shepard trying to respond, but he can't do it. They've got 16 boards to our 33. They are getting destroyed on the glass. That is incredible. Keldon Johnson trying to cut, but they cover it well. We hand off to him now. Shot clock winding down. We go to Anderson. He has to jack up a deep one, and it's off. Baldwin hands off to Ortiz. He pump fakes, but he's going to have to force this deep shot, and that one's off too. Good defensive stop. Ortiz is 0 for 9. Are you kidding me? He's got 7 assists as Halliburton takes him down low and lays that one in. Golden State calls timeout. Last 5 games for Anderson, 32.2 points per game. Najee with it, finds Bowen there on the cut, and he's in there for 2. Halliburton back to Zubac. Nice pass. Bucket plus the foul on Wagner. Halliburton has passed the ball very well here in the third quarter, making things happen, and so are some of the backups. Free throw good. Ortiz, top of the key, off the mark once again. Rough day for him. Pollard feeds Bobo down low. Mismatch on Ortiz. The fadeaway is in there. Baldwin attacks the rim and missed the layup attempt. Got past Pollard for a moment, but couldn't capitalize. Halliburton steps back and knocks it down. How has he been this game? Screen from Najee. Baldwin fires over Pollard, offline. Bobo, the screen. Halliburton, back to him. They cover it well. Back to Pollard, top of the key for a three. That one drops, and just like that, it's a 20-point lead again, and the Warriors call timeout. It was 65-70. Now it's 87-67. What a run by the Woodsmen. Bobo gets the stop there on Ortiz, trying to hit the floater. The offensive struggles will continue for the Warriors. Pollard to Carney. Open three. Got it to go. Ortiz, mid-range jumper. There's his first field goal. Odin Johnson stepping up into a shot. Got it to go. The mid-ranger falls. We have shot 61%. The offense continues to play well, as I asked. Ortiz spins, attacks, and can't lay it in. It was a really good attempt, though. They get their own board back. Screen for Ortiz from Najee. He gets down low and draws the foul. First free throw, up and good. And Ortiz goes 1 for 2. Pollard, quick pass to Odin Johnson up ahead, but he can't lay it in. Baldwin attacking, nice move, but he can't lay it in either at the rim. Pollard was there. Good stop once again, under 60 seconds to go until the fourth quarter. Odin Johnson slips inside, there we go. He's played well in this game too. Ortiz, time counting down. He finds Baldwin. Now Najee has to force it. Pollard goes back to Carney. Wide open. Same spot as last time. Nothing but net. The Warriors have just completely collapsed here in the last 6 minutes here in this fourth quarter, or this third quarter rather. The last shot will go to the Warriors though. Baldwin just jacks it up. 97-70 after they had closed the gap to 5. What a run to end this third quarter, folks. That was awesome. We jump to the 5:24 mark here in the fourth quarter with Vancouver now up by 30 points. Just going to watch a bit more just to get some more action from our team, because why not? It's the second last episode of the entire season, so might as well get as much as we possibly can that is at least kind of interesting. Jalen Green, nice step back move. Halliburton against Baldwin. Takes him down low, but he's stopped. Back out to Payne. And now Anderson has to force a shot over Green. And he knocks it down. Wow. Najee sets the screen. Green shakes off Vanderbilt. Nice move. He's got 31. Has missed only 3 shots total. Halliburton has played maybe his best game of the season with 11 for 16 shooting. At least one of his best days. Anderson wide open 3. Off the mark. Baldwin gets to the other end and scores. As Anderson only 1 for 6 from downtown here in this game. Only 4 points here in the second half as well. But everybody else around him has played extremely well. So that's what you look for when somebody's not playing their best. And 20 points is still really good. So I'm not going to complain about that. As he'll make it 22 here. And overall, you know, he shot very well. So he's taken some good shots, just hasn't knocked down his threes. Jalen Green off the screen, fires a 3 and knocks it down. Just Here are garbage time points for them. It's our first blowout win watching in a little while. We have seen mostly very close games that usually come down to the last couple of shots. So it's kind of refreshing to have a game like this go. Halliburton to Anderson. He's covered well. Shot clock winding down. He goes to Payne. He pump fakes, then fires, and it's good. The lob to Anderson for the exclamation point. You're kidding me. The assist goes to Hallie. Vancouver obliterates the Golden State Warriors by 20 points, and really, that is even too close for how this game went. We were in control for almost the entire game, except for one small part in the latter half of the second half and the first parts of the third quarter, but a 117-97 win against the best offensive team of the entire league and a prospective first Western Conference seed. But now we hold sole possession of the Western Conference. What a performance in the most crucial game of the entire season to this point. That is Vancouver basketball, folks. Tyrese Halliburton drops 28 and 8. Anderson had 24, 10 and 6. Carney had 23 off the bench, 9 for 13 shooting. Keldon Johnson shot well. Payne a double-double and 2 blocks. Pollard 7 and 7 despite being 2 for 10. And he was the only guy that had, a rough game, but he still passed the ball very well off the bench. And this was one of our most complete games against one of our toughest opponents. Jalen Green had 40 points, but most of that came in garbage time. 15 for Kuminga, 14 for Baldwin, only 10 for Tommy Shepard. Ortiz shot poorly, Nance shot poorly, but we come out on top shooting 57% in this game, holding them to 42%, one of the best offensive teams, the best offensive team. Still only forced for 4 turnovers, but we got the win. That's all that matters. Now we have 7 games left on the schedule. 3 home, 4 away. And we have sole possession of first place. The Warriors are 1 game back. The Pelicans are 1.5 back. The Nuggets are 2.5 back. And the Spurs are 3 back. So as long as we win all but like 1 or 2 games here in the last 7 matchups, then the only contenders to take this spot from us, and they still have to play very well, are the Warriors and the Pelicans. But we have the tiebreaker on both of them, I believe. So if we finish with a better record than either of those 2 teams, or both, then we have the first overall seed, the first time in team history. And we're going to find out what happens to end this season next time out, folks. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. And until the regular season finale, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.